Premier League Everton vs Newcastle United prediction, Teen News, lineups preview. Everton will look to build upon a first Premier League win of the season when they welcome Newcastle United to Goodison Park on Saturday. While it has been a start to forget for the Toffees, Newcastle have made their best in the top flight for over a decade. Match preview. After a long, agonizing, and frustrating opening 5 matches, Everton finally made a mark in the win column in the Premier League standings when they beat Crystal Palace 2-1 last weekend. In a very poor first-half performance, Everton trailed 1-0. But Dwight McNeil's quickfire brace shortly after the interval turned the game on its head, handing them their first come-from-behind victory since October 2022. While McNeil rightfully took the headlines, it was the return of Branthwaite which ultimately got Everton over the line, as they were able to see the game out rather comfortably, in stark contrast to how they have defended leads in recent weeks. An utter capitulation against Bournemouth saw them lose 3-2 after leading by 2 on the 87-minute mark, while lightning struck again when they went to Villa Park in their next outing. After also failing to hold on to their lead at Leicester City the week before, welcoming Branthwaite back and taking all 3 points will ease the pressure on manager Sean Dyche slightly. Amid the impending takeover at the club, Everton are now out of the bottom 3 for the first time this season, but they could go into the international break back in it if they fail to take anything from this one. Another outing at Goodison Park should help them in their search for another win though, as the Toffees have won 6 of their last 8 here, and taken more points at home than any other Premier League club since the first week in April. Newcastle are often favourable opponents too, considering they have lost just 3 of their last 20 at home to the Magpies, but that has not come without its fair share of drama though, as this fixture at this venue often springs up some incredible storylines. The visitors took the most unlikely point of the season here in 2020, when centre-back Florian Lejeune scored twice in the final minute of added time to snatch a 2-2 draw for Newcastle under Steve Bruce. Since Eddie Howe's arrival, Newcastle have won 4-1 here, but suffered 2 bruising defeats either side, losing to a 10-man Everton thanks to a 99th-minute Alex Iwobi strike in 2022. Before going down 3-0 here last season, with all the goals coming in the final 10 minutes. Before last season, Newcastle had won 5 of their previous 6 against Everton, but they were only able to take 1 point off the Toffees last term, as Dominic Calvert-Lewin's late penalty earned them a point in the last meeting between the two in April. Howe's men should come into this clash with plenty of confidence though, as their tally of 11 points from a possible 18 to start the campaign is their best in the Premier League since 2011. Newcastle would finish 5th that season, ironically missing out on the Champions League on the final day by losing at Goodison. But another finish inside the top 5 this season would go down very well on Tyneside. A 1-1 draw with Manchester City, despite being without key attacker Alexander Isak, last weekend suggests Newcastle are set to compete for the European places again this season, after missing out in 2023-24 due to Manchester United's FA Cup win. Newcastle currently sit 7th, level on points with Fulham, who have also made an excellent start, and a continuation of some fine away form in 2024 in this one will aid that European push greatly. After losing their final 4 away games of 2023, and on New Year's Day to Liverpool, Newcastle have since won 10 of their last 17, on the road in all competitions. There was no need for an away day in midweek though, as their EFL Cup clash with AFC Wimbledon was moved to St James Park after the unfortunate flooding that hit the League Two-side stadium last week. Newcastle won 1-0 thanks to a Fabian Schär penalty to send them through to face Chelsea. But Howe was not pleased with his makeshift side, saying they did not do enough in the final third, and claiming the match was instantly forgettable. Team news. After Branthwaite's long-awaited return last weekend, reports suggest a quad injury could keep the important defender out here just one game after his comeback, meaning Michael Keane could be set to deputise again. Jesper Lindstrom was hooked at halftime last week, and Dyche labelled his performance as below par in his press conference on Thursday, meaning Jack Harrison is almost certain to take his place on the right wing. McNeil's brace last week contributed to him being named as a candidate for Premier League Player of the Month for September, while WhoScored also placed him 5th in Europe's top 5 leagues' best performers for the month, behind only Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane, Giovanni Lo Celso and Omar Marmush. Any meeting with Newcastle will see eyes focused on former Sunderland youth product Jordan Pickford. But the England goalkeeper will need to improve on recent performances if he is to help his side to 3 points against his boyhood club's bitter rivals. Newcastle are severely weakened by the absence of last season's top scorer Isak, who suffered a broken toe in their win at Wolverhampton Wanderers. The attacker has been left out of Sweden's upcoming squad, suggesting he will not feature here, so ex-Everton Academy graduate Anthony Gordon is set to start up front, in an atmosphere that will certainly be hostile to him, after leaving under a cloud in 2023. Even though Kieran Trippier missed the midweek cup tie, he should be fine to return. But Lewis Miley and Callum Wilson are not expected to feature until later in the month, with Sven Botman and Jamal Lascelles out for the longer term. Everton possible starting lineup: Pickford, Young, Tarkowski, Keane, Mykolenko, Mangala, Doucouré, Harrison, McNeil, Ndiaye, Calvert-Lewin. Newcastle United possible starting lineup: Pope, Trippier, Schär, Byrne, Hall, Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton, Murphy, Gordon, Barnes. We say Everton 1-2 Newcastle United. Both teams have been playing good football, especially in the final third. But only one side has the points to show for it so far, and that is Newcastle. The possible absence of Branthwaite will be huge, as Everton have proven incapable of defending without him in the team so far this season. So the visitors will be favourites despite potentially being without top scorer Isak. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.